All right, in this video, I just want to give you some examples of how to use CSS with React. Okay, so we can do inline styling in JSX. So if we go to our header.js file and let's go to our H1 right here, and we can put in a style property here, and we can actually set this to a double curly brace, okay, which looks a little weird, but this is how we add styling. So in here, we could put, let's say, color. So we'll say color, and we want to set this to a value. Now the value is going to go inside of quotes like this. So let's say color red and save, and you can see now our H1 is red. If we want to do, let's say, let's do a font size. So we'll put a comma here, and we're not going to do font dash size like regular CSS because this isn't regular CSS. What we want to do is camel case font size like that. And then we'll go ahead and put in some quotes and let's say 50 pixels and save. I guess, oh, there we go. So 50 pixels. All right, so we can add styling like this. Now we can also put our styling inside of a variable. So if we go down here and say const heading style equals, and in here we can take the styling that we just put in here. We'll grab that and just go like that. So this looks a little different than regular CSS, obviously, but we're going to put this into that variable and then just set style to heading style. And if I save that, we get the same thing. If I go down here and I change this to green and save, we get a green heading. Okay, so you can do things that way if you want. Another thing you could do is create a specific style sheet for each component. So if we go to, let's see, contact.js, and let's create inside components. And I'm not going to keep this stuff. I'm just showing you as an example. It's not going to be part of our application. But I'm going to create a file and call it contact.css. Okay, and then inside this file, let's say we want the H4. This is just CSS now. So we'll say color, let's say blue, and let's do text transform, and we'll set that to uppercase. Okay, now if we want to bring this into our contact.js file, we can simply import it. So we can say import contact.css, and that should work, right? Where did I, yeah, contact.css. So let's try it. We'll save, and there we go. So we have blue H4s that are uppercase, and this won't be in effect anywhere else except for in this component. So this is good for encapsulation. So you can have your output, which is your JSX, you can have your logic, which is going to be your props and state and all that stuff, and then you can also have your styling all wrapped up into your component. So it's a very encapsulated piece of content in your application, and that's why this stuff can be great. Now I don't really like doing this, like creating specific CSS files for our components. Usually I'll do global styles in like the app CSS file. So we won't be doing this in the project, but I did want to just show you that it is something that people do, as well as the inline styling and putting style in your JavaScript like this. So you can do it either way. In this project, the actual project we're building, we're going to use Bootstrap, so we're going to depend on that for most of our styling. Any extra styling we'll put in the app CSS file. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of what we just did. So get rid of the style and this right here. Put that back, and then in contacts, I'm going to get rid of this import, and I'm going to delete the contact CSS file. All right, so in the next video, we're going to implement Bootstrap, and we're going to start to make this look a lot better. So instead of our header just being an H1, I want to actually have a nav bar. I want each of the contacts here to be wrapped in cards, and we'll go from there. So we'll start to make our UI look better, and then we'll move on to the next section where we'll talk about state, we'll create a contacts component that will actually iterate through its state and then output each individual contact component. All right, so I know up to this point things have been pretty simple. If you already know some React, you probably know everything we've already done so far, but this is a from scratch course. I want people to be able to understand what's going on that have never even touched React before. So forgive me if it's a little slow at first, but we will be doing much more advanced stuff a little later.